Hey guys, Shumbits here. Welcome back. We have another video tonight. Well, tonight as I'm recording. I kind of just thought about it on the spot, but I think it's fair, and I've definitely thought about it a few times, and it makes me very frustrated. But basically, I want to yap about why posting your art online can, emphasize on the word can, ruin your mental health. But let's get into the video. Alrighty, first point to why posting online sucks for your mental health is the numbers. I've been posting my art online since 2011 on DeviantArt of all things, which then honestly numbers weren't really at the forefront because you couldn't see them. They were there, but you'd kind of have to look for them, which was nice, but also I was a kid, so I didn't really understand all of that. But as an adult who posts on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, all that stuff, numbers are there. You have your likes, you have your retweets, you have your reposts, whatever they're called, shares, whatever terminology you want to use. They're all in front of you. And especially on Twitter, you see other people and their posts, and they have a lot more likes than you. And having to focus on numbers, which is also something I've talked about before when it comes to Twitch and YouTube, is very frustrating because you want to do better, you want to grow, but you usually probably stagnate, oh, I only got 10 likes on this post, which some of the things I'm going to talk about are going to lean into my other points that I'll get into, but the numbers is honestly one of the worst things that social media brings to you. Obviously, it's best to ignore them and not care. Easier said than done, however, but as something that honestly, the bigger you are, A, the more traction you get, B, the more you can grow your business depending on what it is. It definitely matters. As much as it's easy to say, oh, numbers don't matter. They do matter to a certain degree depending on what type of artist you are. If you are a hobbyist who is not using your art to make money, you're not selling anything, you're not doing commissions, whatever, the numbers truly don't matter. But for those of us who want to grow ourselves as a business, numbers do unfortunately matter because, somebody who has 10 followers, they're not going to get commissions because they're not known by anyone, which is unfortunate because a lot of people who are smaller have really fantastic art, but they can't really sell themselves because nobody knows who they are, right? But somebody who has 400,000 followers will get sponsors, they'll get commissions, they'll get shops on their sale, all that stuff. So numbers is one of the biggest things that sucks. Okay, my next point, which kind of attaches to the first point, is people blowing up / getting lucky. I've been noticing a lot recently with VTubers as well, where they'll post here's my design, I'm so-and-so, and then it gets 10k likes or something. Now, but back when we were trying to do it in 2020, 2021, I feel like it wasn't as big, and so I've been feeling a lot of I was too late to the curb type thing of introducing myself to the internet as my VTuber persona, but it is what it is. But this counts for art as well. There's so much luck involved when it comes to posting on the internet, which acknowledging that it's luck should make it better, and it kind of does sometimes, but it's still not fair. Why does this person get lucky when they post a piece of XYZ versus, if I were to do the same thing, you get nothing, right? And that's tough to navigate because there's really nothing you can necessarily do to improve your odds or your chances because it's luck. Whether you post at the right time or what you're posting, obviously drawing fan art, for example, yeah, it could increase your odds, right? If it's a popular fandom. But even then, kind of catering to popular trends just to try to get lucky isn't fun because it feels like you're just drawing something for the sake of posting. Which is another point I'll get into later, but I don't know, the luck-based blow-ups kind of frustrate me. Obviously the person who posted it wasn't their fault that they got lucky, but of course for everyone else, because what are you supposed to do? If you blow up, you kind of just ride it out. You're going to enjoy it, you're going to, you're becoming well-known in some sense, but for those of us who just never have that, we then, at least for me, you start to equate you not blowing up as your art being bad or it's not appealing to most people, which is not true because like I mentioned before, there are plenty of really amazing talented artists who don't have a following due to not getting lucky or due to the algorithm sucking, right? And yes, there's so many videos talking about how to grow on this website or how to grow on blah 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 with tips and tricks, but it's still luck based because You may do all those things, do everything perfectly, you might upload consistently, you post at peak times, you post things that are interesting, whatever the reason is, right? But you still don't grow. And it's just one of those things that we have to acknowledge that exists, and keep moving on. But I definitely am starting to get irritated by like blowing up and then no one else blows up, because in reality I feel like there's so many artists who should blow up and like be known, but just aren't. So getting lucky is something you can't avoid, but I prefer if it didn't exist. Next thing is getting traction equals commission/sales. This is just a matter of fact, and this can branch off to just business in general. The more you promote yourself, the bigger that you are, you will just get that business. So when it comes to commissions, my experience with commissions in my entire art life has been, the bigger you are, the more new people you'll get as commissioners, because in my experience I have a lot of just regulars who commission me. Every now and then I get a new person, which is cool, whether it be from a stream or something, but overall it's a lot of my regulars. And I'm not the biggest person on any platform, clearly, so I know that, like, for those who, for example, like 400k, right, or 40, I'll be more reasonable, 40k on YouTube or Twitter. When they make a post about, oh, I have commissions open, blah blah blah, you have more people who look at you, thus you will get more business. You will get people who want to commission you, they will get people who will actually do it, right? But for someone who has 100 followers, like, you just don't have that sample pool to pull from, to get those commissions. So you may get one, if none. And by the way, I love my regulars. Like, commissions are something I live off of, so it's fine. But for those people who either A, want to live off their commissions, or B, do, having new clientele is important, because regulars can only do so much, right? And like, they work, they have lives too, so they can't just support you solely, unless you just have that many regulars, which is something that will happen over time, I'm sure. But having new clients helps grow your business, right? And then they can tell their friends, like, oh, so and so did this for me, it's really good, like, you should commission them. And it keeps going, and like webs that continue onward as everybody vouches for you and you grow your following. But it kind of equates to what I'm talking about earlier about like your value. You feel like you're less than because you would like to, let's say you want to make a living off of commissions. If you cannot grow your social media, then you can't do that. And that's just the fact of the matter. Like I said, it's not something I prefer, but like, you cannot tell me that someone with 100 followers versus somebody with 10,000 followers, their commission revenue are completely different. And again, it's annoying. Like, I personally don't necessarily want to live off commissions, like, that's not the goal, but I do enjoy doing commissions. And when I have more commissions, it's kind of cool because it's like a little bit of a business. Like, people want my art, right? And there's unfortunately a value I get from that. Like, my art is valuable to people if they want to commission me, of course. But I know it's tough out here, like, to be an artist part-time, let alone full-time, and commissions are a big thing that people do. So, but there's no easy guide of like how to grow these social media to be worth something, like when it comes to like your commissions and stuff. But when you post your commission page and you don't get any likes, you don't get a lot of traction, it kind of sucks because you took your time to post that or make it, and then you would hope that people would want to support you in that type of way. But then when the post doesn't really get much and you don't get commissions, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails, which is the whole point of this whole video, is that a lot of the time, unfortunately, mental health sucks and is hard to manage. And so when it comes to posting online, a lot of the time, what you get, like numbers wise or traction wise or money wise even, you think, I do too, that it equates to your quality of art. Because okay, why does this person have so many commissions, have so much shop sales, so many likes, right? Like, you would think, oh, it's because their art's really good, and typically it is, of course. But if their art's really good and they get this amount, and if I feel like my art's kind of bad, it equates to me not getting a lot of anything. So unfortunately, it confirms some biases that aren't good. Don't have them. But yeah, trust me, getting traction does equal sales. I wish it wasn't the case, because I would like anybody who, to me, if you have good art quality, you should get traction, you should get money, you should get whatever you're looking for. But that's not the way the internet works now, does it? Alrighty, last annoying thing before I get into some positive stuff is making art only for posting instead of for yourself, which is a cycle you can get into pretty bad. There is nothing wrong with posting your art online, of course, but you have to remember that you should be making art for yourself and for the fun of it, because you can get down a cycle of, oh, I want to see how many likes this will get. Ooh, if I draw this specific thing, this will get so many likes. You know, whether it be like a popular fandom at the time or anime or whatever, right? Like, obviously we know, for example, we're gonna use Sonic, right? If you post Sonic art, typically it will have some traction. Or if a new game came out that's really popular, if you post art of that, it will get traction, right? But be careful of that. And there's something, look, if you enjoy what you made, but you also know in the back of your mind that it may get something, that's fine. You still enjoyed it, right? But if all you're doing is making art just to get that gratification of likes, then your art's just gonna become almost like a pipeline of like, oh, I need this words? Gratification, how about that? You want that. So every time you post something that doesn't give you that, it's gonna become a cycle of pain, and then you just don't want to post that much. I've been in a cycle before a few times in the past, you know, seeing artists who post only Sonic art and they blow up because of that. However, I've also learned that I don't want to be in this pipeline of only posting this type of art, and then when you post something else that's not that type of art, then you notice the numbers drop a lot. I prefer to grow on my own brand, and then, you know, it's a lot slower of a grow, but it's more worth it to me. So I've gained that, but like I said, please don't post for the sake of numbers. Please post for yourself. Enjoy the art that you do. I know this is stuff I've talked about before, get on my soapbox, but it's true. Art should be fun. Art should be something that, you know, is more of a stress reliever, not a stress grower. But I feel like some people get in their heads about these numbers, and it creates a disgusting pipeline, which we can just go ahead and do the positives now, since I'm starting to get into it anyway. One thing that I found from posting art for so long online is that I kind of have a catalog of a portfolio of like my art journey. My Deviant art, I've talked about it before. I've been posting since 2011, so there's some crusty dusty art in there, but every time I look at it, it kind of makes me feel better because of how far I've come as an artist, which is really cool. And for those of you who have been posting as long as me, or a long amount of time, you understand this. So ideally don't delete your old art, like, or at least put it somewhere in a file, that way you can look at it again and see how far you've come if you need a little boost self-esteem. And then I mentioned this a few times before, but numbers do not equal quality. Like, we need to hammer this home. It is not true, because again, there's honestly big artists who, you know, their quality varies and they just do little memes and they blow up like that, right? But then there's some artists who are underground, you don't know them, who makes beautiful art who nobody knows, and that right there shows that numbers will equal quality and don't equal artistic ability either. You know, again, the algorithm will blow up who they want to blow up. And unfortunately, those artists who, in my opinion, deserve to blow up just don't. And it is what it is, right? You just have to navigate the website as best you can and keep moving. But at the end of the day, you have talent, and it's not something that a little number on a website can take away. But yapping aside, hopefully this video wasn't too redundant. Like, obviously a lot of the things kind of meld into each other, but overall it's just a conversation about how posting online, specifically for artists, but maybe generally for people, I'm not really sure, can affect your mental health if you let it. But if you change your mindset on everything, such as, again, your numbers don't equal your quality of art, only post, don't post because of numbers, post because you enjoyed the piece and you want other people to see it. Those type of mindsets will help you get through. And hey, you might get lucky on something and then, you know, ride that wave, baby. But don't expect it. Don't try to farm it. Just don't do that, because if you do, again, you'll be disappointed, because 95% of the time, most of your posts will not blow up. I hate to say that. Or if you do have one that blows up, it will not result in, you know, instant like followage and a community. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video. Again, I'm trying to do these weekly. I'm trying to pump out ideas. I'm getting on a little bit of a momentum. It's slow, but it's there. Thank you for listening to me yapping, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.